starting today with the Zippo 4-in-1 Woodsman camping axe. Woodsman axe, maybe it's called. It's primarily a camping axe. It has 4 solutions. It's an axe, a saw, a mallet, and a stake puller.
Yeah, the Zippo Woodsman is 21 inches top to bottom. It is 9 inches from head to head, and it weighs 1 pound.
Yeah.
It is a steel hatchet with a 5-inch blade. 5-inch axe or hatchet.
The mallet is plastic. I don't think there's a steel inlay. I just think it's solid plastic.
Yeah, probably.
ABS plastic.
Because if there were steel, there were the hell covered with plastic.
So, I think primarily it's made for using it on tent stakes. I don't think you're supposed to hammer anything with it, really. I can't imagine it would hold up, but we might test that as well sometime. But it's plastic. It's ABS plastic. The stake puller is well, it's a stake puller. It's
It probably works.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it, but why?
Just pull the stake up like this. It's a stake puller, really. We'll put it together now so you can see the saw. The saw blades are on the inside of the handle, 2 of them. So you get 2 blades. That's pretty good, I guess. You know, you get a spare blade. As you can see, you open it on the end here to reveal the saw blades. So you have to kind of do like this, and it will come out, and it's 2 blades. To put it together, you have to open the handle for the saw, which is also the cover for the axe. You put it together like this. You just push down, tighten it up,
And close it.
Close it. Screw it together.
And you got a saw.
And you got a saw. It says you can saw up to, I would say, 4 inches logs. I think that's a bit thick. You'll see in our test that it doesn't really. I would saw branches with it, and maybe logs this size, 2.5, 3 inches maybe.
Yeah. And it's mainly because of the space you got here.
Yeah.
4 inches, you got about what?
Yeah.
3 inches of saw length.
Yeah.
You can't
really saw anything. Yeah. So it'll take ages. Yeah.
And it does get quite narrow quickly when you're sawing.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much depth before you're hitting the narrow part on the logs.
No, exactly. Also, I'm not too happy about the fact that it's this long from the last saw tooth to this part. It's too long. You'll hit the ground very fast unless you're sawing on a very high level. But out in the woods, you can't build up the log too much anyway. So you kind of have to saw where you are, and that kind of hits the ground very fast, and which even limits saw length even more. The saw works. It does, and as I said, Zippo markets it as a camping axe, and I guess it would work for a camping thing. It would. You get 4-in-1, but yeah, for camping it's good. Out here in the woods where I wouldn't take this with me at all. No. Actually, 1 pound. It's not heavy, but it's a bit bulky, to be honest. And there are smarter solutions with saws, which we also will review later. Better saws than this that are also compact.
And we also got to mention the handle.
Yeah.
It's too thick on the pinky down here.
and we understand why, because there's an axe head.
Yeah.
But again, it's a bit thick. It gets uncomfortable after a while to saw. It works, as we said, but it's not comfortable. I wouldn't, as you will see, we saw a log. I wouldn't saw the entire length of that log. My hand would be pretty beat up after that. I think it's not too comfortable. It has a rubber texture, which is good. You won't slip or anything like that. But the plastic handle goes off when you use the axe, of course. We did some chopping tests. It actually bites quite good.
Yeah.
It did bite better than we thought. It really took out some chunks, but we think it's mainly because of the length, of the handle.
It gets pretty heavy on the top here.
Yeah, so it's just brute force. As you can see, it's chipped on the end there. Got a few chips. Nothing that you can't straight out. So I'm not sure what kind of steel it is actually. In the axe, we might put it in
Fiskars doesn't mention it on their page. I haven't seen it.
Zippo.
Zippo. Sorry.
Yeah. If we find it, then we'll put it in an annotation. It's not really that important, to be honest. But I'm a bit curious about this because of the hole where you fasten this one to put the saw on. It might be a weak point. I don't know. Maybe. Could be. We don't know. We're going to test it more. We might do a revisit in a year to see how it is held up if we use it enough. But yeah, it also makes a little bit of rattle because of the saw blades inside the handle. You can take those out, of course, so it's not a problem really. But yeah, the big issue though with this axe,
the grip.
Yeah.
If you hold up here and you strike, this will come open.
Yeah.
And suddenly there's saw blades flying all over the place.
This little part here will come out. This little metal part. It's kind of hard to show now, but when you really use it, it comes out. It comes out like that, and this one will loosen a bit. And you're not going to get a good grip with this steel, with a stake puller like that. So you have to put that one down to get a grip. And even so,
it gets what am I gonna say? Square. It's too
sharp edges.
It's too sharp.
Yeah, and the notches. You know, your fingers will get beat up after a while. I don't know how they can make this better. I'm not sure because of the saw. You kind of have to have moving parts here. So I don't think there's too much you can do really. Again, you know, maybe we are brutalizing it a bit. Maybe we're using it too hard. You're not supposed to chop that thick logs, but still, it's fairly uncomfortable to hold. Unfortunately, because actually I don't mind it. I kind of like it, but
yeah, it works.
Yeah, it does work. You'll see that it really does work.
And it takes a lot of beating too.
Yeah, it does. We really took it out on it, and yeah. But the handle is a big issue. It's a very big issue. You can see on the other side, your hand comes right here, and it's gonna grip in metal and all that kind of stuff. But you have to have your hand here, otherwise it'll come open, which is not. Well, it's not a good solution in my opinion, but there's not much you can do, I think. As you can see, it works well as an axe, but it didn't quite split the wood, simply because it's in a straight line. It should have more degree here, probably around 30 degrees to split the wood. So I think the optimal task for this axe is to V-chop. I'm chopping a V to get it to really get to the wood. So it actually held up pretty well, as we said. So yeah, it's not bad, but it's not a splitter. It retails for about $60 on Amazon. I think it retails for about $70, $80 on Zippo's homepage. So $60, it's not too bad, I guess, for a camping tool. Keeping your caravan or in your car, I think it's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
It's a well, mainly the saw and the axe, the stake puller and the mallet. You can do that with a baton, and you can pull up your stakes with your hand or even with the axe. I'm not sure what these notches are.
No, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't fit in a...
No, it doesn't even make any sense to with this either. It doesn't do anything. Oh yeah, it's because of this one.
Oh,
it's because of these. Yeah, the snaps. It's so the snaps can reach in. That's why. I didn't notice that before. But yeah, so that's why. It's not an issue though, so it's not a big deal. The ABS plastic is it's a good plastic. So I don't think it's gonna break. We are going to do a test of it wintertime. Because that's usually where plastic breaks. We're gonna do some tests on Fisker's axes, but I know for a fact, because I've done it myself many years ago, a few years ago, I broke a Fisker's axe because of the plastic. But I know Fisker's has changed their plastic, and since then I've not had any problems with it. So we're gonna test this one in the winter, see how it holds up against well, around 20 minus degrees for a day with chopping. I hope it's gonna hold, but I'm not sure. That's the Zippo Woodsman 4-in-1.
Yeah. See you next time.
Bye.